The story opens on a fateful day a new prince is born. But his dark hair and eyes are called a curse. Years later, a grand party is underway at the palace. The first prince, Lior, stands before his fiancée Charlotte. He screams that he's breaking their engagement. Charlotte freezes, her eyes wide with shock. She asks him why. She has no idea. Lior points to another girl, a commoner named Lucille. He accuses Charlotte of bullying her. "You pushed her down the stairs," he yells. Charlotte tries to deny it. "I've never." Lior cuts her off. "Silence!" He orders his guards to arrest her. A man in the crowd smirks. His ring begins to glow. Heavy chains burst from Charlotte's collar, binding her. She realizes it's a trap. A collar for criminals. Lior tells her to get on her knees and apologize. Charlotte's face is pure horror. Just then, a deep laugh echoes through the hall. It's the third Prince Alfred, the cursed child. He strolls forward, a wide grin on his face. He apologizes for laughing. He says they've all played right into his hands. The crowd whispers nervously about him. Alfred points directly at Lucille. He mocks her for being a commoner who got too bold. Lior glares at him, his face twisting with rage. "Even if you're a prince, I won't let you get away with this." The guests start to wonder, was Alfred the one who framed Charlotte? Lior lunges forward, grabbing Alfred's arm. He yells, "How dare you do this to Lucille?" Alfred just smiles, completely unfazed. He tells his brother there's no proof he did anything. He was just enjoying the drama. His thoughts reveal the truth. His brother is a fool for falling for all this. Alfred never even needed a real plan. He says out loud, "Evidence against me never existed." He fully embraces the role of the villain. Charlotte, in chains, pleads with Lior. Their engagement is a formal pact between families. It can't be broken over one person's feelings. Lior doesn't care. His love for Lucille is true. Alfred sees Charlotte is cornered and completely alone. So he taunts Lior. "Are you going to arrest me, brother?" Lior's face darkens with fury. He shouts, "Guards, seize him!" The crowd gasps as the guards charge forward. But Alfred is already moving. He launches himself into the air. His hand finds the giant crystal chandelier. He swings high above their heads. Lior screams at his men to use their magic, but they hesitate. The party is full of important guests. Someone could get hurt. It would be a huge problem. Alfred sees his chance. In the chaos, Charlotte has slipped away. He lets out a sigh of relief. She's safe for now. Suddenly, the chandelier explodes. Alfred dives away just in time. He lands on the balcony, then slides down the railing. My brother has lost his mind, he thinks. Time to go. He gives a final wave from the balcony and floats gracefully out a shattered window. Lior watches him go, clenching his fists. Alfred. Outside, Alfred lands on the stone path, brushing himself off. A blonde-maid Makina greets him with applause. "You really caused a commotion today," she cheers. She teases him for acting like an evil mastermind. He asks about Charlotte. Makina says she's safe. She then grins, calling him a knight in shining armor. "You just rescued your first love," she exclaims. Alfred's face turns red. "It's not like that!" Makina suggests he should just take Charlotte for himself. He yells that he's going to his room and dashes off. The next day, he's in his study, looking tired. A small white pigeon sits on a stand. It's the king's messenger. The pigeon pecks at him, scolding him. "Why do you insist on being the villain?" it squawks. Alfred just sighs, exhausted. Then the pigeon drops a bombshell. "Rejoice, my son. I've arranged a marriage partner for you." Alfred freezes. A marriage for the cursed child? He thinks it has to be a cruel joke. A knock at the door interrupts his thoughts. It's Makina. She announces his fiancé has arrived. Alfred stares, completely stunned. Makina knew all along. He grits his teeth and tells her to let them in. A young woman with long hair enters the room. "Please excuse me." In a grand room, a man's head is throbbing. Stealing his girl, he thinks. Who's stealing whose girl? A hand gently touches his forehead. It's the maid, Makina. She just giggles. Beside her stands the beautiful Charlotte. The maid explains the story everyone is hearing. "Naturally, you're taking Charlotte from Prince Lior." Alfred remembers the rumors swirling at school. He skipped class just to avoid his brother, Leo. He asks Makina, was it brother Leo who spread those rumors? He sees the look on the maids' faces. They tell him Prince Lior was super mad, ranting that Alfred did terrible things just to get to Charlotte. Alfred groans, covering his ears. He's so tired of hearing it. A small, crowned bird on a perch speaks. It's his father, the king. Alfred spins on him. Why are we going along with this? The Bird King is calm. He says they will use the rumor. They'll use it to make the engagement official. Alfred stares in disbelief. Your logic is just as absurd. He shoots back. Machina lays out the plan. They'll frame Charlotte as a victim of the villainous prince. People will sympathize with her. They won't see her as a wrongdoer anymore. Alfred can't believe what he's hearing. You and Dad, what are you talking about so casually? He glares at them, his voice low. You're still planning to harm her? Just for the sake of appearances? His voice finally cracks, and he yells. It will be a burden she has to bear for life. Charlotte gasps, covering her mouth in shock. He feels trapped, pushed into a corner. He remembers why he started this in the first place. He tugs at the fancy collar of his uniform. I was just playing the role I was given. He never asked for any of this. A bitter smile crosses his face. He thinks about the magic of his world. Fire, water, earth, and wind. The royals have a fifth element, ether. But Alfred is different. What resides in him is not ether. He wields the dark magic of the Witch of the Night, the same magic that once plunged the world into darkness, a power that symbolizes ruin. He remembers his childhood, always alone, surrounded by books. At parties, everyone would shun him. They'd whisper about the ominous cloud over his head. That was his entire life, so he made a choice. He would be the villain. If he's a disgrace, it drags his father's reputation down. He glares at the crowned bird. You lousy father! The king is unmoved. I don't recall assigning you that role. Is that all you have to say, my foolish son? The king then turns the subject to Charlotte. She is special. Uniquely powerful. The royal family cannot afford to lose her. Charlotte speaks for the first time. She says it's her own wish to stay with the royals. Alfred looks at her, considering this. Then she looks right at him, a brilliant smile on her face. If it's Alfred Sama, she says, then it's fine. Alfred's world stops. His eyes go wide with shock. A memory flashes in his mind. A party, long ago. He was just a lonely, cursed boy, and a little girl walked right up to him. It was her, Charlotte. She was the only one who wasn't afraid, the only one who didn't care about his curse. He clenches his fist. He understands. She truly trusts him. He can't believe he overlooked something so obvious. The maid, Machina, sees his face. Al-Sama. He knows he's responsible for this mess. He turns to the king. I'll accept the engagement. Charlotte and Machina look relieved, but Alfred's face is like stone. Make no mistake, though, he says, his voice ice cold. I have no intention of changing my role. He turns his back on them and walks away. I'll simply do as I always have. He storms out of the room, leaving them in stunned silence. Charlotte looks heartbroken. Does he dislike me? But Machina just laughs. Asama isn't very honest with himself. As Charlotte watches him leave, her mind goes back to a garden party. Many years ago, she's a little girl holding a new picture book. It's a gift from a 9-year-old boy named Lior. The book inspires her. She tells him her dream. When I'm queen, everyone will live in harmony. But Lior isn't smiling. Sorry to burst your bubble, he says coldly. Real life doesn't work that way. He calls her dream nothing but an empty ideal. Her bright smile vanishes. Soon after, Lior has to leave for good. He walks away, leaving her heartbroken. Her dreams feel like empty words. She runs, deciding to throw the book away. She thinks she's outgrown childish stories. But a voice calls out, hey, forget something? A small boy is holding her book. She recognizes him. It's Alfred, Lior's younger brother. I don't need it, she snaps, turning away. But she stops. She sees the look on his face. That's what Brother Leo told you, right? She asks. The boy's eyes go wide with shock. Bullseye, he's just repeating his cynical brother, but then Alfred looks down and opens the book. He starts quoting a line from the story. If you never give it a try, nothing will ever change. Charlotte freezes in place. Those are the words of her favorite hero. Alfred looks up with a tiny, hopeful smile. I'm also fond of this book, he says softly. A wave of emotion hits Charlotte. She tells him something important. The ones who change the world are always the hopeless idealists who actually try. Before giving up, she says, why not give it a shot? Cut to the present. Charlotte and Machina search for him. They're in disguise, walking through a rough town. Suddenly, Machina yelps in pain. A large boot has stepped right on her. A sharp voice yells, what do you think you're doing here? Charlotte looks up, and her eyes meet a furious glare. A dark-haired boy corners two girls in an alley. It's our guy, Al. He looks annoyed. He demands to know what they're doing here. The girl in the red hood, Charlotte, feigns innocence, but the maid, Machina, just giggles. She cheerfully admits, It was my idea. She explains Charlotte is Al's fiancée, and she just wants to get to know him better, so they're gonna follow him all day long. Al sighs. He says that's not necessary. He tells them they don't have to try so hard. Charlotte freezes. Her face falls. She thinks he just called her a dull woman. A dark, gloomy aura starts to swirl around her. Al panics. No, that's not it at all. He desperately begs her to hear him out. Makina winks. Time for plan B. She whispers that Al likes well-developed girls. Then she playfully inspects Charlotte's chest. See? You have magnificent melons. She tells Charlotte to have more confidence in herself. Charlotte nods. All right, I got it. Then she turns and shouts, Oi, you idiot maid. Al's jaw drops. What did you just say? Makina just laughs. A slip of the tongue, Tilda. Al groans. He says they get along surprisingly well. Makina agrees. She and Charsama go way back. Then she gets another bright idea. She suggests they use nicknames to get closer, like Al-kun. Charlotte's face turns bright red. She looks at Al, completely flustered. She covers her mouth with her hand and quietly whispers, Al-kun. Zap! A lightning bolt of cute hits Al. He stumbles back, totally shocked. He thinks, she's going for the finishing blow. Makina grins. Excellent. Now, Al-sama, you call her Char. Al screams, as if. The other girls cheer him on from the side. He clutches his head. That's going to be embarrassing as hell. He quickly apologizes for his outburst, but then he sees Charlotte again. That dark, gloomy aura is back. She thinks she made a dull request. Al takes a deep breath. He can't win. He closes his eyes and mutters, fine. The girls wait in total silence. Al turns his back to them. He takes a single step away. Then he mumbles, Char. His face is a mess of pure shame. He even has little fangs from the stress. The girls stare, completely stunned. Al thinks his heart is going to explode. Then he turns around and sees Charlotte. She is beaming with pure happiness. Yes, Al-kun, she cheers. Okay, that was kinda worth it. The group starts walking through town together. Al finally asks, by the way, why are you in town? He says he's not up to anything special. Suddenly, Makina shouts, KYA! She holds up a drawing for everyone to see. It's a very scandalous picture of a maid. I found this in his room, she announces. He must be out buying more. The other girls gasp at the revelation. Al's face drains of all color. He screams, why would you bring that here? He lunges for the drawing. Quit reading that garbage. But Charlotte calls his new name. Al-kun. He freezes in place. He slowly looks over his shoulder at her. Her eyes are sparkling with excitement. She's not mad. She's curious. She gets right up in his face. Please, show me, she begs. As your fiancé, I need to know you better. Al is completely and totally cornered. His face is dark with shadow. He yells, you don't need to know. Crash. He slumps over, defeated. He pleads, isn't this enough? Please just go home. He sends a death glare at Makina. I've never wanted to fire you more than today. He asks if they really want to watch him buy lewd books. He sees their determined faces. They aren't leaving. He sighs. Fine. I'm just gathering information. Out on the streets, the gossip is flying. People are talking about Prince Lior's broken engagement. Al holds up some apples. My investigation here is done. Makina raises an eyebrow. This is gathering information? He says he's just checking his brother's reputation. He offers Charlotte an apple. Her eyes sparkle. You can just eat it? She whispers. Al watches her. A small smile plays on his lips. He was worried. But this is a nice change of pace. All right, he says, stopping. We've arrived. They stand before a huge building, the Adventurers Guild. Al explains adventurers hear all the best rumors. They step inside. The place is buzzing with energy. Charlotte's jaw drops. It's just like a picture book. Makina smirks to herself, watching Al from the side. She thinks he has no idea how to talk to a lady. She decides she definitely deserves a pay raise. She puts a hand on his arm. You should thank me. Al smiles. I appreciate your help, Makina. He turns to her. His expression suddenly serious. Thanks for everything, really. Makina's smug look vanishes. A blush creeps up her neck. He leans in closer. What, you're gonna ignore me now? He gently takes her hands in his. You're the one who told me to compliment you. Makina's face is bright red. She can't speak. You're throwing me off, she whispers, totally flustered. Al looks confused. What's wrong? Are you sick? Charlotte just stares, completely lost. Suddenly, a loud voice booms through the guild. "Hey, long time no see, Al." A big, cheerful blonde man claps Al on the back. He looks over at Charlotte and Makina, grinning. "Flowers in both hands, I see." Then he drops an absolute bombshell. "Sorry for the late intro. I'm Al's fiancé." The air freezes. Al's face goes completely white. Charlotte starts to speak, but Al cuts her off with a look. "Her name's Chal," he yells, pointing frantically. The fiancé squints. "Chalet? That name sounds familiar." He turns to Charlotte, his expression full of pity. "I heard a duchess with a similar name is having a rough time." A mug slams down in a loud tavern. "That duchess girl is a piece of work," a man shouts. His friends agree. "She's rotten to the core. No surprise Prince Leor ditched her. Good for him." In the corner, a hooded figure flinches. It's Charlotte. Her eyes are wide with hurt. The men start trashing the third prince. "A rotten bastard." At a nearby table, a hand squeezes a mug. Squeeze. It's our prince, Al, in disguise. A drunk asks Al, "Wouldn't it be great if they both just died?" Al just smiles, playing it cool. "That's different from what I've heard," he says. A sharp grin spreads across his face. The Duchess is actually the victim here. The tavern goes silent. The men lean in. Al starts spinning his new story. It was all a scheme. By the third prince. He says the prince framed her to hide his own faults. His plan works. He's clearing her name by ruining his own. But later, walking home, Al's steps are heavy. He looks completely weighed down by his own lies. Behind him, Charlotte defends him. "Alkun is not a bad person." Al overhears her. A single tear escapes his eye. Charlotte sees he's in pain. "I'm sorry it turned out like this." He just brushes her off. "Don't worry about it." He tries to walk away, but she grabs his sleeve. "Alkun, I'm sorry," she pleads. His voice trembles. "I can't do that." He pulls away. Back in his room, Al is freaking out. I should have seen it coming." He grips his head, his fangs bared in frustration. He collapses at his desk, totally defeated. "I had to go and sour the mood." He makes a decision. "I should lay off seeing Char for now." The very next day, he's at the military training grounds. Knights clash with a loud clank of steel. He turns a corner and runs right into her. Everyone freezes. Total shock. Al panics. What are you doing here?" he snaps. "You have that much free time to be loitering?" His face immediately falls in regret. "Why did I say that?" Charlotte looks down, embarrassed. "It's for my studies to become queen." "By the way," a voice cuts through the thick silence. It's Charlotte's older sister, Letitia. She asks Al why he's at the training grounds. Al's eyes sharpen. His focus completely shifts. He's not here to train for himself, he says. He's assessing the kingdom's military strength. Letitia looks surprised. This guy is actually smart. Al explains that you have to know every soldier's limits. He gestures to a knight swinging a sword. "Take that guy over there," he says. Al perfectly breaks down the knight's entire style. His base is stable, but his reactions are slow. He points out another one. And his strikes are sloppy. He telegraphs every single move he makes. Letitia is speechless. She stares in total shock. He's analyzed every single soldier's habits. Suddenly, a loud voice echoes. "Alfred!" It's Al's sisters. They look mad. "Were you really called a pervert?" one asks. Before he can answer, another voice booms. A fierce man with blonde hair and fangs appears. He points a finger right at Al. "Found you, you rat." Al's face goes pale. It's Leo. It's his older brother, the second prince, and he looks absolutely furious. Al knows he can't run from this. He clenches his fist. He has to face him. He tells his maid to look after Charlotte. Leo storms over and grabs Al's head. Thud. "What could it be, Brother Leo?" Al asks, annoyed. "Quit calling me that." Leo snarls back. He screams that Al has shamed the entire royal family. "As your brother, I'll beat some character into you." Al just stares at him. "What?" Leo throws a wooden sword at Al's feet. "Pick it up," he demands. Al doesn't move. "Nah, that's too much trouble." Leo completely explodes. "Are you a coward?" Al looks down. "I just don't want to fight my brother." Leo accuses him of trying to get out of it. Al's head snaps up. His eyes are burning. "Fine, let's practice. But I have one condition." Al has just accepted the duel. But he has one condition. He smirks, his sharp teeth showing. He turns and grabs a sword from the rack. A real sword. Cold. Sharp steel. He tells Leo, "I'll use this. You can use the wooden one." Leo just scoffs. "Fine. Do as you please." The guards nearby are disgusted. "Isn't he ashamed?" one whispers. "Such cowardice," says the other. Leo boasts to his men. A coward like him is no challenge. But Al just keeps that sly grin. He asks, "What if my hand slips?" Leo rolls his eyes. "Bark all you want." The two brothers face off in the courtyard. The practice duel begins. Leo lets out a massive roar. He charges forward like a bull. He swings his wooden sword with all his might. Al just stands there, waiting. He raises his steel blade to block. FSSH! He deflects the blow easily. Leo stumbles from the impact. He glares, his face red with anger. He swings again. And again. Al doesn't move his feet. He just pivots, blocking every single strike. He looks like he's not even trying. The crowd starts yelling. They're all on Leo's side. "Crush the coward," they scream. "Show him no mercy, Master Leor." Al grits his teeth, his expression tight. It's not over yet, he thinks. He's completely on the defensive. Up in the stands, a young woman watches. Lady Charlotte. Her friend asks, "What's wrong?" Charlotte's eyes are wide. What? Something about this fight is weird. She leans forward, studying Al's moves. Then she sees it every time Leo attacks. Al blocks with the exact same spot on his sword. Not the edge, the flat of the blade. He's not trying to cut. He's doing it on purpose. A thought flashes in her mind. What could he possibly be planning? The guard captain yells from the side, "Press the attack, Master Leor." Leo hears him and lets out a final scream. Ha! He puts every last bit of his strength into one huge swing. The wooden sword arcs through the air. It's coming right for Al's head. Al doesn't dodge. He just holds his steel sword up. The wooden blade crashes against it. Yafu! A huge impact sound rings out. And then, crack! Leo's wooden sword explodes into splinters. It shatters against Al's blade. Leo is thrown backward, his eyes wide with shock. He stares at the broken hilt in his hand. Kya! The entire courtyard goes silent. Nobody knows what just happened. Then one of the guards shouts, "Woo! HHH! Did you see that?" He snapped it with a wooden sword. They think Al was the one with the wooden sword. They think he performed a miracle. Up in the stands, Charlotte's maid is confused. "Why would he do that?" she asks. But Charlotte understands everything now. Her face is pale. She whispers, "Perhaps he lost on purpose?" Not this fight, his whole reputation. A memory flashes through her mind. Al kneeling on a stone floor in disgrace. An ornate boot stepping near his head. A voice mocking him. Feeling apologetic now, she realizes he's been acting weak this whole time. It's all been a carefully crafted plan. The scene suddenly shifts. We're back at the moment this all started. Leo, his face filled with rage, points at Al. "I challenge you to a duel." Al stands before his brother Leo, his white uniform bright against the stone. He looks him dead in the eye. His voice is firm. "I challenge you to a duel." Leo stays silent, his expression unreadable. Al explains this is to settle things, once and for all. He lays out his terms. "If I am the one who wins, you will admit your guilt, not just to him, but to everyone. And he'll have to apologize," with Charlotte right there. Al says this will save him the trouble of finding evidence. Leo just listens, completely still. He raises a gloved hand slowly. A dark, chilling smirk spreads across his face. He looks at his brother with pure scorn. With terms like that, he says, "I can't comply." He sits casually on a stone ledge, looking bored. He tells Al he has absolutely nothing on him. Al's face twists with rage. He points a finger straight at Leo. "So you're refusing the duel?" He shouts that this just proves Leo is guilty, that he clearly has something to hide. Al gets more and more frustrated. "You keep insisting there's no evidence. But doesn't your attitude speak for itself?" The accusation hangs in the tense air. Leo finally looks away. A shadow falls over his eyes. He looks down, a flicker of pain on his face. He's thinking hard, his mind racing. He stands alone. The gloomy castle behind him. The sky is filled with dark, heavy clouds. This isn't simple at all. He thinks to himself, I have everything to lose. If he accepts the duel and loses, everyone will believe he's guilty. It won't matter if he's innocent. He glances over at the watching soldiers. They're all gathered, listening to every word. They wouldn't understand his position. To them, refusing a duel is weakness. It's proof that he's a coward hiding something. He realizes he's completely trapped. It's a lopsided, impossible situation. No matter what he does, he loses. He's been backed into a corner. A fire lights up in his eyes. He makes a decision. His hand clenches into a fist. The leather of his glove groans under the pressure. He looks up, his gaze sharp and determined. "Fine," he says, his voice cold. Al waits, a smug look on his face. But Leo isn't done yet. "But I have a condition too." Al's expression hardens slightly. A raw anger enters Leo's voice. "Again!" he shouts, as if he's asked this before. Al stays calm, composed. "What is it?" Leo's eyes lock onto his brother's. "If I win this duel," his voice drops, low and serious, "you will release Char from that collar." The camera cuts to Charlotte. She stands alone, her face filled with worry. Her hands are clasped tightly together. The heavy, ornate collar is locked around her delicate neck. Back in the courtyard, the air is electric. Leo leans forward. "That collar you put on Char?" he says. "The key. You're holding on to it, aren't you?" Al doesn't answer. He just stares back. But we see his thoughts. This is his chance. His chance to finally get what he wants. A wicked, knowing grin spreads across his face. His sharp fangs gleam in the light. He holds up a small, wiggling object in his hand. He taunts Leo. "Not like you have anything to hide, right?" He throws Leo's own logic back at him. Then he agrees. "If you win, I'll remove that collar." He can't resist one last jab. "Not that you stand a chance in the first place." Leo's eyes narrow into icy slits. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't react. He has made his choice. So be it. The deal is sealed. The duel is set for 2 weeks from now. A voice warns. You'd best prepare yourself for what's to come. Charlotte and her maid are frozen. Their faces are pale with shock. Did he just say he's going to her parents? Charlotte's mouth is open, but no words come out. Her maid just stares, completely stunned. The world goes quiet. Charlotte's mind is racing. She has to understand. Why is he doing this? It all flashes back. The duel he was supposed to win. She remembers someone asking the question. Why did Alkun lose on purpose? He even tampered with his own sword. She just couldn't figure him out. What is going on inside his head? She clenches her dress. Why go to such lengths? Then she remembers her maid, Makina, explaining. Makina's face was dead serious. She said Al chose this role himself. The role of the cowardly, despicable third prince. He's making himself look bad on purpose. By making himself small, he makes his brother look great. Everything he does is for Prince Lior. Makina says it's nothing new. Al has always acted as the shadow of his brother. Charlotte thinks about Al's family. She sees a picture of them in her mind. A huge, happy family, all smiling. A voice says his love for his family is everything. It's more important than the kingdom, more important than the people, more important than himself. There was a contract between their houses, a contract sealed in blood. If Al broke it with his feelings, it would be a disaster. The whole royal family would lose face. He did something like this before. He caused a huge mess to protect Lior. If he hadn't, Lior would have been in deep trouble. So Al takes all the blame. He carries all the burdens for his family. He shoulders all of it, just for them. All the puzzle pieces click into place. So that's it. He plays the villain to sacrifice himself. He thinks this is the best way to do it. Charlotte stands in her room, her heart pounding. She clenches her fists by her sides. But there has to be a better way, she whispers. Her hands are shaking. Isn't there another way to handle this? Her own maid shakes her head slowly. A terrible thought hits Charlotte. She looks up, her eyes wide with horror. It's not just that he thinks this is the best way. He truly believes there is no other way. Her face crumbles. The hope drains from her eyes. That's how he really feels, that this is his only path. But that's just too sad. Suddenly, a cheerful voice cuts through the air. A different maid is standing by a huge door. We're here! This is Master Al's room. Charlotte looks up, pulled back to the present. She follows the maid inside, and there he is, Prince Al. He's not looking at them. He just bows his head deeply. Sweat drips down his face. I'm so sorry, he says to the floor, for involving you in all of this. Charlotte doesn't know what to say. Her maid starts to panic. Please, don't mind it. Another maid gets excited. This is amazing. Now we can prove her innocence. But a guard in the corner isn't celebrating. His eyes are sharp. He knows the situation is still incredibly dangerous. Just then, the door to the room creaks open. It's Al. He's dressed to leave. Both of you, he says quietly. Please prepare to leave. Charlotte stares at him, confused. Eh? Where are we going? She asks. He turns his head, not quite looking at her. I haven't taken care of everything yet. Then he faces her. His eyes are glowing. A dark smile spreads across his face. His teeth look like fangs. I'll go meet Chara's parents. A carriage rattles down a quiet country road. Inside, Charlotte's maid Elise is vibrating with excitement. She clasps her hands, her face beaming. You're really getting engaged, Master Al. Al just glares back, tugging at his tight collar. His teeth are bared. You're only saying this now? He looks like he wants to jump out of the moving carriage. They pull up to a massive, fancy mansion. This is the Mersenne estate, Charlotte's home. Al tries to put on a cool face, but he's sweating. The maids behind him just giggle. They see right through his tough guy act. Inside, a butler serves them tea on an ornate sofa. Al sips his tea. His mind is racing. He has a few goals here. First, greet the parents. Second, shut down any rumors about that absurd duel. Suddenly, a booming voice fills the room. Apologies for the wait. A mountain of a man stands in the doorway. Duke Mersenne, Charlotte's father. Al stands up, trying to be polite and formal. But the Duke just waves it off with a huge smile. Thanks for your thoughtfulness, he bellows. He says they don't act like stuffy nobles here. Then he turns to his wife. You seem quite familiar with Al. Charlotte freezes. Excuse me, father, the Duke explains. Al used to hide out at their house. Whenever the palace got too stuffy, he'd come here. Charlotte is completely shocked. She had no idea. Al just smirks at her. We just started chatting, right? But her father's face turns serious. There's a reason you didn't know, Char. The Duke says Al asked him to keep it a secret kept out of consideration for his brother, Prince Lior. Charlotte just stares, totally lost. Huh? Al suddenly slams his hands down and stands up. His voice echoes through the room. Anyway, I am here today to extend my greetings as Charlotte's fiancé. The Duke just looks at him, unfazed. He says they're not here for simple greetings. Al looks him dead in the eye. The real meeting begins. Could I meet the legendary jeweler